Davis Mberia there telling us what the national team is doing and how comfortable they are while they sharpen their arsenal. Remember, anytime they go all out, they always represent the country. We can do more actually to assist and make sure that this team get the best of facilitation. But yes, I know we are on the right track, so let's wait and see how well they will be able to represent the country. Now, talking about representation, we are just counting days because we are set to have the Sterling Gold Cup, under 23 Gold Cup, and it promises to be an exciting extravaganza because you're thinking about basketball, also think about some entertainment and some good moments. We had the men's edition. The women's edition actually is coming from 6th. All action will be at Nyayo National Stadium, and it's the indoor arena. And Job Waka.
Thank you, sir.
Karibu sana.
Shukran.
How have you been, sir?
I've been well.
Let me we talk about what you're doing. Na ni kama tuliambiana tuvae almost the same. I don't know who gave who the memo.
Yeah, I gave you the memo.
So, how have you been, Job?
I've been well. Of course, lying low for a while and just preparing stuff for what is ahead of us. And that's the ladies' championship that we're putting together. We hope that this championship will draw in the ladies, give them a platform and what we're trying to push is basically just equality and equity in sports. And it's an exciting, I think this will be more exciting than the men's championship because of the teams that are there. Strathmore, ZTech University, we have USIU finally at least on board with us. And then we have a team from Nakuru, or Switch girls also who will be there. Then we'll also have some kids under 18 exhibition match on Sunday. And also under 15, sorry, and then we'll have under 18. We have Loreto girls playing Raila Education Center. So it's packed. It's a packed weekend.
I know we'll be talking about what exactly we expect from that weekend, and you've actually mentioned it a little bit. But we also had the men's edition of the Under 23, the Summit Cup.
The Summit Cup, yes.
Tell me something about the Summit Cup, and in your own assessment, how successful was it?
The reviews and the teams that participated, at least, of course, most of them are happy for these young guys who got a platform, at least to explore the Summit Cup, and some of them were saying that at least this gave them an opportunity to them to play, because some of them are in these big teams. Then they have the older, mature players who are the ones playing more than them. So just to have an under 23 was a big plus for us as the organizers and for the teams that came that participated. And of course, they're asking for more. So we, of course, will put house in order to see that this becomes a yearly event, so that we just majorly lie on gets this the unders under it. In fact, even under 16, we missed out on the under 16 competition in Rwanda. And we can raise a team, I'm sure. So then there's under 18, we come to under 21, under 25, and under 27. Under 27 will be the last. And then after that is senior. So Summit Cup was quite interesting, and the fact that also there's a school that the team that came that had the youngest players who are 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and were participating, and they gave teams a run of their money because they lost with like 2 points, 3 points, so they were not beaten. They came, contested well. And it was an exciting moment, I believe. In your assessment, I know we're talking about this side and this men's Summit Cup that we had. It's always important actually to nurture these young talents, so you will agree. I know we were there watching a number of the National League matches.
Premier League matches. But if we don't have a good foundation, then we are not working for the league.
For sure. And that has been our problem, and especially for basketball. We've not had a progression. We've not had a guy, we go out and say that this is our focus, so that we focus on the youngsters. Because Moses, we have kids who play in high schools and the school games, and then after that, what next? Because some of them don't even go to play for clubs, they don't go to play for the universities, but they're good players that we leave down. But if there's that progression that you have under 16s, under 18s, then I'm sure we have a good feeder system into the national team. But as long as that is missing, then we'll keep rotating the older players day in, day out. And there must be a blend. And that's why we're doing this, so that at least there's a blend between the older players and the younger players. The younger players must learn from the older players, so that even if you're taking them for a championship, you have the older players playing and the younger players learning, so that when the older players phase out, the younger players have gotten that experience. Because experience is something that you can't buy, but you have to at least be in it, so that you can be able to know how, if in a competitive match, a tense game, how do you handle. But you can only handle it if I'm playing with someone who's older than me and tells me, hey, Tulia, this is how you're supposed to go. Take it slow. But I see that must come from an older, not even from the coach, from an older player in the court. So that's, I believe that's, and all sports generally, if we have that progression, that feeder system, and also a systematic way of playing. For example, soccer. If we decide we're playing 4-4-2 or tiki-taka, whatever game system we want to play, it has to be started from the primary school.
Because the question will be, what is our playing style?
That's as even today, if you ask, we don't just play.
Go and play and just play.
There's no format. And I remember I was telling a few of the soccer guys when we did futsal, I was telling them it is important for us to have a system down from the grassroots. The coaches coaching the right thing, especially for skills. Again, this platform, the Summit Cup and the Gold Cup, also gives these players a platform just for explore their skills. And then, of course, games have gone shorter. So you have 3-on-3, you have 5-a-side, you have 7-a-side. These games are basically just to explore the skills of these players. So if you have a system from down there, and the coaches are coaching the same thing, so that if you get a player from Turkana, for example, or you get them from West Pokot, Tagars, or whatever school, and they come to the national level, they blend in completely. But so basically that's what is missing.
A number of times we forget about the ladies, and I know maybe we always have a lot of focus about what the Morans are doing, what the young boys are doing, but also the girls and the ladies are a very, very integral part of the sport, you would agree. And I think when we think about talent, we also have women who've shown that they can play some very, very beautiful basketball.
Yes. Interesting enough, the beach games that have just ended, who did well? It's the ladies. At the Africa Championships, we only have the ladies who've done well. I am of the opinion, and I believe that the ladies are the ones who will take us to the Olympics in basketball. The ladies are the ones who will take us at the world competitions. Not because I'm biased towards the men, but I've seen it over the years that we have a crop of this, and as we put it, the ones who, the ladies who are being not given that limelight, because we don't give them that limelight. Yet they're playing good basketball, there's good talent, there's skill. That's why, again, we are very deliberate and saying that there must be equity and equality in sports. Even when it comes to the cash prize, when it comes to the platform itself, because we can't have a competition. Let's say, for example, guys are playing outside, then they put the men play inside the gym, then the ladies play outside. No, we're saying all of them, same platform, so that we can be able to develop all of them at par and give them the whole hype that it needs. And that's why we're even calling out, saying, we've been sending messages, says, guys, come see the ladies play. And we have a hashtag running, which is her game has her way, so that we at least be able to push them. And they also run another hashtag that says, she can ball. Because the only guys who say, oh, we are ballers. These ladies are also ballers. They can play. And remember when you were there when you watched the game between KPA and ZTEC. A little girl from ZTEC University who was actually just punishing KPA and the older players. Now imagine if that girl is given the same platform as the men as they're being given. We'll be far. So we hope that the stakeholders in the federations and just even the other event organizers and all that will be able to give all these sports the same recognition that it is. Soccer, for example. There was the ladies' league. You can't imagine how even the celebration was done as compared to the men's league. So some of those small things are ones that need to be at least brought on par, so that we have at least we build the two, because we can't have that disparity.
I know in a global scale, people are talking and saying the ladies' game, the only thing that it misses is the dunks. And we're also even having the conversation about making sure that the rims are not that high and all that. But in the country, you know, even before we talk about lowering what rim wear, I think facility is also a big challenge. We've seen what Masai Ujiri has been trying to do in the country, moving across different estates, at least giving them a platform to be able to play. But I think we can do better when we think about facilities, you'll agree.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And that's one of the biggest hurdles that we have as a country. One, we don't have a facility that can host an international match. Nyayo Stadium is not an international stadium. It is actually just a national stadium.
Yeah.
The size of it and all that stuff. Two, Kasarani is outdated. The floor is typically outdated.
Yeah.
And then we have all these markings on the floors. And if you look at the national stage or international stage, they're...
No, let me catch you a little bit and talk about futsal before that.
Yeah.
Because you also brought about that exciting kind of extravaganza to the public.
Yes.
And I know when we had this edition of the futsal, again, we will still stick to the conversation about facilities. We still can do better.
Better, yes.
Because you can see, for instance, that facility used for futsal, used for the handball,
yes.
used for basketball sometime as an outdoor arena. I think still a very, very big challenge, but at the same time speak about futsal.
So futsal, of course, is played on hard surface. That's why we went to the handball court. Because it's a hard surface. And you see, on the whole country, this is only standard field we have. So we either play here or go play inside the gym at Kasarani. Ulinzi have put up an indoor court, but of course it's not yet finished. But now this is only an arena that we have that can actually host a futsal game. So facilities again, the guys who put up small pitches around the nation for these five-a-side games, but again, they can't host a nice match. They can host what I would call feel good games, but not a competition like futsal. Because futsal, it's a world stage game. I believe in futsal in the near coming years will be one of the avenues at least we'll be able to get to a World Cup. I believe if we nurture it well, if we try and push it to the high schools, to the universities, and then at the club level. One thing people need to realize that futsal and the small games are used for conditioning. So the league now is over. So what will these players be doing over when they're resting? They need to come to futsal and just to play short games, skill, touches. That's the only way, again, we can build. But again, they can only do that if they're sure the facilities we have in the country are good and well equipped. And even just the balls themselves. I remember we tried looking for just a futsal ball itself here locally. We only got 2. So now you have to import some of these things in the country.
I know when you're talking about all these kinds of extravaganza, I think it's a lot that can be done. I'll take you back now to specifically this basketball action that we're going to have now for the ladies in the Starling Cup under 23. A number of teams actually have seen they have promised they will be there. Pool A, I'm seeing we have Zitek, we have Anu, we have Footprints, we have the Switch, Strathmore will be there in Pool B, Bees and Starlet will also be there, Jaquat will be there. So different teams actually have promised that they will come and just try as much as possible and enjoy and see if they will be the winners. But what are we looking at and what is our expectation actually going into this tournament?
There's a lot. In fact, now the interesting thing is that when we started putting up together the cash prize, we were looking at 100 divided. Now, the interesting thing is that one of my good friends has come in and said, okay, now the winner will take home 100,000 shillings. Then the others will at least up to number 4 will get something. That's one a plus at least, so that will boost the game of basketball amongst the ladies. And then, of course, now at the stage, everyone wants to beat Zitek. That's the beauty about it. So everyone would want to beat Zitek because they were top of the Premier League. So everyone is coming out to say how this is Zitek, what is good about them.
It's our time to shine.
So it will be an interesting time for, in fact, the guys with that particular pool, I pray for them that they can actually do well.
I know, and everybody is talking about how competitive this promises to be. But Job, allow me just to mention before we conclude, you're doing all this, but at the same time, you've been fighting a different battle altogether.
Fighting cancer, colon, diagnosed last year in August. Apparently, I used to coach basketball at a high school level, but I stopped in 2017 because of medical issues. So again, this is a platform where we'll be talking about just creating awareness on some of the things that we go through as sports people and those who love the game. So my health could allow me to coach. But of course, I can't stay away from the game. Now, I still believe I have energy to organize events. So it will be a platform that I will push cancer awareness, just to know that it's something also we need to talk about and not shy away from. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. And I believe I'm healthy enough to be able to say that I didn't do many things.
Yeah.
But since it has come, it shouldn't stop me from moving forward. When futsal was happening, I was actually in pain that whole time. But I had to be there just to give morale to my guys, give morale to the teams, so that they see, at least we see all of it out. And so that when I talk about it, they're like, hey guys, this is not the end of life. It is not the end of life when you're diagnosed with a condition. That doesn't stop you from going towards what you love.
Yeah.
And this has given me a platform, I believe, to just be out there, to show what I can do.
Yeah.
And with time, I believe we'll fight this thing. And with good, of course, now also just creating awareness in terms of medication, access to good to medicines, and of course, again, cheaper. But
expensive. I hope you're balancing it well, because I don't want a scenario where you're pushing it so much because you're so much into sports and you love it actually, and it's so lovely actually to see you doing it.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the cancer battle is one that you also have to win.
When I'm down, I'm down,
Yeah.
Moses. When I'm out, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't really try to exaggerate.
Yeah.
So when things are not, the bodies that I feel like it is moving, I stop.
Yeah.
And then the day I get back that energy, I go out.
Yeah.
One of the things about cancer, it's all in the mind. The battle, yes, so physically, you of course have shrunk over time.
Yeah.
How I was 2 years ago is not the same way I am
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
That has shrunk. But see, one of the things that if you stay also backwards and just start feeling sorry for yourself,
Yeah.
you enter into depression. And then I will start talking about mental health
Very
and all
true,
those
very
stuff.
true.
So, of course, I will not push myself hard, but I need to be there to show this generation and even the guys who are hiding
Yeah.
and who are feeling that, hey, I have this battle and I can't speak about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just tell them, guys, we can talk about it. There's a solution.
Speak to other partners, because I know maybe not everybody knew we're doing this also for this kind of a cause.
Yeah, sure.
Because if we have partners and we're sensitizing people and we're speaking to a different message out there,
Yeah.
it's something that we need to embrace, and maybe more partners also need to come and support this journey, because
Sure.
you have a fantastic message you're sending out there.
We're trying to reach out. Of two things that we're trying to push. One, of course, is cancer awareness.
Yeah.
All sorts of cancer. For the ladies, this platform will be pushing breast cancer, just the awareness part of it. Get tested, and I believe we're talking to a few partners who can come in, just offer testing or screening at least during that time. And then two, we're also talking about climate change.
Yeah.
So we're running a Starling climate action, and we also push those two agendas. And of course, we're reaching out to the ones who partners on that space and tell them sports can be used and should be used as a campaign tool for anything that is happening to us.
Yeah.
One, during as health,
Yeah.
and two, even the climate itself. Because if the climate is bad, we can't play some of these games outside.
Yeah, sure.
So, and then also we're calling out for the ladies to after this event and during this event to reach out to their schools, plant a tree or two. I went to Heshima Road Primary School
Yeah.
in Shauri Moyo. So I'll be going back there at least to do some tree planting, just so that we also push the same campaign. So of course, we are reaching out to all who can see and not feeling sorry. One of the things that I'm not sorry about my condition and what is happening around it. We're just saying that all we have to do is bring in the doctors to speak and to educate our sports people, because I believe many of them are suffering. Many of them have left the game and have not realized what they can do after the game. So we don't want that, to let them, hey guys, well, as long as you can move, Moses, as long as I can move, I can speak, and my faculties are still correct, I will push sports and I will push the awareness about cancer and about climate change.
Thank you very much, job worker.
Thanks.
In black and white. Remember, actually, from date 6 to date 9,
Yes.
all action will be at the Nyayo National Stadium indoor arena. And yes, we will be having the Starling Gold Cup 2023 for the under 23 ladies. So number of battles will be for that day. I know for job worker, the cancer battle is one which we believe he will win. At the same time, we will have a lot of conversation about sensitization, what is happening to do with cancer and all that. The same, he's talked about climate change, but also of key importance, giving these young ladies a platform to showcase their talent. That's it in today's edition of Inside Sports. My name is Moses Wakisi. Have a lovely afternoon and keep it here on KTN.